Hello, everyone. My name is Charles, and welcome to Geeks of the Round Hangout discussion of Season 2 of Sleepy Hollow, Episode 10. And I am trying to remember the name of the episode. Shit. It was a good episode, too. How can I forget the episode's name? I don't know.
Give me a second.
Put down that Dragon Age, you bastard.
Hey, now, be quiet. Okay, it's Opus Magnanimous.
I remember. It's a word. It's Latin, and I don't want to pronounce it. So you know what? Our audience already watched the episodes. You know what? Who cares?
There was a point for me explaining it. That was kind of bullshit.
Yeah. But anywho, as I have introduced myself, how about we introduce my panelists? First off, Lou Rod.
How's it going, guys?
Great.
Awesome. And how about you, Isaiah?
I am doing absolutely well. The episode of Sleepy Hollow was amazing.
Yes, it was. I gotta say, best episode of the season so far. And just to be clear, that was not the fall finale, correct?
No, it was not.
Okay. How many more episodes do we have until the fall finale?
One more. I looked it up. We got one more episode.
Okay, one more episode. Awesome. Yes. All right. Well, I've given my initial thoughts of the episode, saying that it was the best episode of the season so far. What did you guys think of it?
I thought the episode was really, really good. It was very detailed, and it had a really good character death, like with the Headless Horseman. But you guys kept complaining, like, oh, the Headless Horseman, this and that. But now he shut you guys up.
That's the thing I wanted to bring up this hangout is that I'm not gonna lie, I will admit that throughout this season I've been kind of bitching and moaning about having the Horseman but not the Headless Horseman, because that stupid enchanted necklace gave him his head back, and I wanted to see more Headless Horseman. Well, it's time for me to shut the hell up, because in this episode we finally get to see the Headless Horseman.
I know. Isn't that great?
Yes, it was awesome. And then, of course, when they go into that tomb with all the swords, he gets his head back. And I'm like, fuck.
No, that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing.
It's a good thing. It helped It helped the scenes and the acting.
Yeah.
Yes,
you gotta give the man credit. He's acting without speaking.
Well, no, that's the thing. I do like the actor who's playing the Headless Horseman. He is very good at what he's been doing. He's very good. And I guess that's one of the things that I liked most, was that he was acting without actually saying anything. It wasn't like it wasn't audio acting. It was physical acting, body acting.
Yeah,
and I really, really liked how he did that in season 1. And now in this episode, it truly showed how much of a good vocal actor that he is, and I really loved it. It was awesome. One thing I do want to bring up is that at the beginning of the episode, they played that whole famous put the cell phone on the head that has the famous person's name, and they played that stupid game. Yes, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't even remember the. Yeah, I don't know what the name of the game is called. I don't really care, because I will never play that game. I would much rather play Cards Against Humanity. And it's just, I will say this, is that she had Share on her phone. And I was kind of curious. Okay, I know Ichabod has been on this in this time for over a year. But I still highly doubt that he knows who Cher is.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think he knows. And then of course Abby tells him, yeah, he cannot tell a lie, and he takes the phone. It's like, what? I mean, George Washington, he was our liar in chief. I mean, he created that spy ring that spied on the British, a whole network of liars. And I'm like, oh.
He's a politician. All politicians lie.
He has a good point,
exactly.
Though. George Washington was a good liar.
Well, yeah. I never understood the whole thing. George Washington could never tell a lie. It's like, because, I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, he was the person that helped found this country, but he was a politician. Yeah. I mean, you can't. I mean, it should be like put into our genetic like memory type thing. You can't trust politicians.
Oh, forget it. We have wooden teeth too, so you can't trust him even more. Like, he has wooden teeth.
What does that have to do with anything?
A lot. He has no real teeth, Holmes. He used wooden teeth. It's like
so let's say this. Let's say that I have to get fake teeth at some point. Does that mean that I can't be trusted?
Oh, you can be trusted, but you're not wooden. It's not wooden, homie. If it was wooden, I can't trust you.
The only reason why they used wooden teeth back then is because they didn't have the advanced fake kind of teeth they have today. It was all they had.
I still can't believe we're actually talking about teeth.
So you wouldn't trust him if he had a wooden leg?
Peg leg George.
No, even like Captain Hook. I can't trust him.
Even though this is off topic, then how did you trust Herschel from The Walking Dead with the fake leg?
It's simple, because he was gonna die anyways.
You know what? That's all right there, intended for an entirely different discussion. So, moving on.
Okay.
Well, I found the episode pretty decent. It had a few little details that I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Does he really have to scream Abraham when they're going into the tomb?
Yes, in a way.
That looks so cheesy.
It was.
We have to go down because he's coming. Obviously.
Well, the thing is that the whole thing of trying to get Abraham to follow them into the tomb, it was the point of being cheesy. That was the whole point.
Well, the thing behind it is they need to fight a monster, the Medusa.
To be honest, the Gorgon. It's not Medusa. Medusa is a Gorgon. That was her name. The species is called a Gorgon.
It's a Medusa. Shut up.
No, you shut up. But anyway, I'm not starting that. But no, it's just you may have a problem with how cheesy he had said that, but me, I thought that was freaking hilarious. I thought that was awesome.
It was funny, stupid. It was stupid funny because you're like, follow me, Abraham. We have to go down to save the day.
I'm sorry. That's funny to me. I mean, it's funny in some cases. Like if they know it's like they were trying to be stupid. That was the intention, and they succeeded, and in a good way. I thought that was hilarious.
And then really, what was the point of him taking that? He used his axe to cut off a little aluminum piece off the bricks for what?
It was a clue. It was a clue. They didn't know that there was that opening there. And the Ouroboros on that plaque was used as sort of a clue to tell you what's actually there. And the horsemen took it so that Ichabod and Abby couldn't figure it out. But, hello, they did.
Yeah, and then, honestly, Katrina, she's just another dummy.
Well, again, I won't call her a dummy.
She doesn't realize... She's a dummy because she doesn't realize that she's being set up to give out information. Common sense, you're in the enemy's headquarters. They're going to let you communicate because they want to see what they could find out, especially when you're dealing with magic.
Yeah, true.
But it's like she should have more common sense. She's blinded by her love for Henry, but Henry don't have that same remorse.
He doesn't. Sad to say.
But to be honest, I see what they're trying to do with Katrina and Henry, where they're trying to get her character to never give up on Henry. And I mean, come on. I mean, Katrina is Henry's mother. A parent should never give up on their child.
Yes, I agree. You should never give up on your child, but at some point you need to realize right from fucking wrong.
Yeah. And I don't know. I admit, I mean, during the first season, Katrina was awesome. Mostly because she wasn't actually in the show that much. She was only in a few, once every few episodes, and she appeared as sort of a resource to Ichabod and Abby. Now that she's actually...
That's what made her interesting.
Yeah, now that she's actually out in the world and she's interacting with everybody, at the end of season 1, where we saw her in our timeline now, I was actually hoping that she was going to be with Ichabod most of this season, and she was going to be reacting to what we take for granted the same way that Ichabod has been reacting to such things. Nowadays, Ichabod doesn't really react to that kind of stuff as good as he used to because he's used to it now. Right. He's like, and no, it is still pretty good for Ichabod. It's just not as hilarious as it was in season 1. Now it's more like we get like a huh or a little chuckle here and there. Now, last season, we were flat out laughing. Like, this is something that I constantly bring up in the Hangout discussions. It's the famous donut hole scene. I mean,
Right.
and don't forget the water bottle scene. I mean, how he was reacting to the water bottles. I mean, that was awesome. I was laughing for minutes. I mean, it
But they
was
need to move
great.
on, though. They need to move on with more better jokes.
I understand that, but I mean, on this season, one thing that they did is how he was dealing with how we do yoga. I mean, that was cool. And then also the thing that Abby kind of mistaken thought that he was being judgmental of this homosexual couple, and then we find out that he was actually being judgmental about people wearing hats indoors. That was pretty funny. But I mean, those types of moments are few and far between this season. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's just I would have expected that since Katrina is now in our world, in our timeline, she hasn't done much of any of that. I mean, she's only done it once, where she reacted to, I guess, a knockoff of The Bachelor, and now that was funny. But I mean, what else has she done other than go at the Henry's Manor or whatever, Henry's Manor and everything, and try to play a what?
She's been stupid.
Well,
Is what she's been doing.
I wouldn't go as far as to call her stupid, but
She tries to help, but everything she's doing is backfiring, and she hasn't caught on to it.
it is true. She's not that helpful.
She's being outsmarted at every chance she gets.
all right. Well, yeah, there is a lot of. I mean, I guess Katrina's more of a burden this season. I guess so. I mean, to be honest, one thing that I was hoping for in season 1 was for Isaiah's speculation to not happen, where Katrina would not become a horseman and she would be fine. But at this point, I really don't care. I really don't. Actually, I think turning Katrina into a villain would make her more interesting.
Yeah, I have to admit that
Maybe.
too. She would be more interesting because, I mean, I understand what you guys are saying. This is why I like her being with the enemies, because she's getting more and more persuaded on their side, if you think about it, or she might turn. Either way, it makes her character even more interesting. When we saw her, when she saw her trying to help, let's be honest, her helping is bullshit. She can't help nobody. She can't help a cat out of a tree. She makes everything terrible. I thought Ichabod Crane was terrible. He's not good at helping people, but I was wrong. He's actually good at helping people. She's just awful. I love the actress and all, but her character cannot help work for shit.
And then the other thing with this episode, really, I'm tired of this love triangle and blaming him and blaming this person. Really, dude, she left you. She never wanted to be with you in the first place. You were just too stupid to not see it.
Right, but that's his job. But even Ichabod said, like, dude, don't blame me. It was your own fault.
Well, the whole thing that was going on between the love triangle between Ichabod, Abraham, and Katrina, that never really bothered me.
Me either.
It never did,
It's
because
just getting old.
it was just, I mean, it's just, we all knew that Katrina never truly loved Abraham. We all knew that. I mean, so what they're doing is, it's nothing new, and I mean, it does seem like they might be, oh damn it, I don't know if I can say this, beating a dead horse. Is that the expression or something?
It's a good
Yeah, and
It's
so
going back to it, it's like it's getting old. We understand what they both should have done was come clean. I met her overseas. We fell for each other overseas, but no, they wanted to keep it all quiet and stuff. So then it makes him filled up with all this rage of jealousy. Oh, you stole my woman. Technically, she was never really your woman.
Right.
She never really loved you. She was into me. I was into her. We just never spoke out on it.
So deal with it.
So yeah, deal with it. It ain't my fault she dumped you for me. Get over it. This is, I mean, granted, this was back in the 1800s or whatever, but still.
actually, I think it might have been the 1700s, but whatever.
Okay, it's been a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but
Well, technically, he came back 200 years, so it would have been in the 1800s at the time.
Probably the early 1800s.
Either way, we don't care.
Either way,
but
the love triangle's old.
Yeah, the love triangle is old, but I don't know. There was the scene that was going on between Jenny and Irving,
which I did like.
That was pretty cool. It kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen to Irving, because they agreed to meet up at this bridge that crosses into the Canadian border. he decides not to go to Canada, so I wonder what he's going to do, which I do have a little bit of a speculation that I might throw in at the end of the hangout,
Right, so do I.
if I remember.
My thing with that whole scene was, yeah, it was great, but she was doing about 30 miles an hour, and him jumping and landing the way he did, he would have broke something.
Yeah.
Broke
Well,
something,
no.
or severely hurt himself. The way he just got up and walked off like it was nothing. Give me a little bit of realism.
Well, he's a fit person, but yeah, I agree with you.
Well,
I don't
think
fit you are.
I don't think that she was driving 30 miles an hour. It seems slower than that. Possibly like maybe 25 miles, maybe less.
Still, the speed of the angle that he jumps isn't going to give him a clean land.
Well, that's why he rolled.
Regardless,
That's why he rolled. I mean, that's how free runners. That's how people who do parkour prevent themselves from hurting themselves when they jump down a large distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
but he's not that type of guy.
No, neither am I. I wouldn't be able to. I would never be able to do parkour even if I wanted to. I would break something like you. Like I can see it now. Like Isaiah would be running around with a camera and he'd record me breaking something for doing parkour because like, hey, I'm a parkour badass. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's see. The Ginny and Irving. Okay. The whole and the scene at the ruins.
That was really cool. That was good special effects too. Like, damn, that's really good.
Yeah, that it was. The Gorgon, she looked really good.
She was way better than
Well, I think it was a male. I think it was a male Gorgon. It had a sort of a masculine appearance.
That's what all Gorgons look like. They're all female though.
Oh, they are? Okay.
That was a female.
Because they're cursed. Because this is a little bit of history lesson for all you folks. Okay, the Medusa who slept with Poseidon, and it was in Athena's bed, and she was very pissed off. However, she couldn't do nothing to Poseidon, so she did something to Medusa. She changed her to a horrible looking monster because she was very, very beautiful. But however, since Athena turned her into a monster, she can only live in the cracks and rubbles of ruins as a protector or a guardian of where she's hiding. So that is why you see a lot of Medusas or Gorgons. They're all female due to her. She's the original copy. She spawns up to even more different copies. There you go.
Yeah.
History lesson. Boom.
Thank you.
Yes, but okay. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what else we haven't touched on.
They went into the cave, they looked around, they noticed a few things here and there, and then they decided to run.
No. They went into the cave and they noticed all these people in stone. Now, at first they thought that they were statues, but then Abby recognized one of the statues and made her realize it was one of her ancestors.
Right, which was really cool in my book.
It was great for her development because, I mean, we remember now that her ancestor was actually Grace Dixon, who was a witch that was along with Katrina. I don't know if they were a part of the same coven, but they were both witches.
It was a different coven because it was African.
Voodoo.
Yeah, voodoo.
I think, it might have been voodoo. Yeah.
She was a watcher.
Right.
Well, no, they mentioned in this episode that watcher was just another word for witch, so it's basically the same thing.
Watcher sounds better.
Yeah, it does sound better.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Because witch sounds too similar to bitch. So
it kind of is. That's the point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail now, which is nothing new.
Well, I don't know. I'm just making a comparison. That word was not directed at anyone. It wasn't. It was just a way to compare it to the word witch.
I know, but you know me already.
W.
I don't really care that much.
And then,
yeah,
after they escaped the little thing, the little entryway, she leaves Ichabod there to chill by himself. Poor guy sat there for hours, bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while he was there, he made torches.
For no reason.
He made torches saying, like, and there was a use for the torches, but he said, Yeah, I mean, there's always room for another torch, and when he said that, I was sitting on my couch and I was like, I mean, you have yourself a torch. Never leave home without one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she upstaged him with, I brought flares.
Like
And
really.
it turns out that they needed the torch anyway. So
Yeah. But you forgot one thing though, which
what?
was when the Headless Horseman started attacking him, which was very, very cool. I got like, oh shit, it's the Headless Horseman. Um,
All the thunder and lightning.
but he knew the Headless Horseman was gonna come towards them, right? So he looked he looked in the phone like, oh okay, it's gonna be sunshine about next 5 minutes. Cool. All I do is bring him here, and he can't do shit. Which
Well, no, damn it, you kind of messed it up because when they first went to the ruins and they were talking about going in, and then they saw the horsemen.
Mhm.
And Ichabod said, like, no, Abby was going to try to go, like, sneak past them to get in. And Ichabod's like, no, we can wait it out until daylight. And she's like, well, we don't know if he would find it before then. And they go out, and all kinds of mayhem happens. And then,
It's her fault.
right at then right at the perfect moment, the sun comes up, the horseman gets weakened, and he gets the hell out of there. And Abby was like, what? How did you know that that the sun was that close? Pulled out his cell phone and said, you had me download a weather application. And I'm like, ha! Yeah.
that was really cool.
See, look at you, Ichabod, getting all modern and with the times.
Hey, you got to use your resources if you want to survive in this world.
Exactly. Oh man, that was great. I mean, just that's what makes this show awesome. It's just little things like that. It just makes it so perfect.
And then we get a flashback of him and Abraham talking in a bar.
That was
And
good.
then
Yes,
the lovely
we do.
Katrina shows up.
The thing is that scene in the bar I didn't really care about. I actually liked the flashback scene with Abraham and Ichabod fencing more. I like that
a
scene
lot,
more.
too.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
Because it played to a
No.
bigger part though.
Knife. I could beat you in a sword fight. Yeah, when it's fake and it doesn't count for nothing.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
Then, like I said, that was their opportunity in that flashback to just come clean and say, no, we know each other from this period here. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
And it might have just relieved some of that tension of, you stole my woman, now I want to kill
Well,
you.
It's hard to tell someone that when you know they're pretty much pissed off at you, and they're so much. They got the illusion of pretty much Moloch around their mindset, like Moloch and blah blah blah, and then Ichabod made pretty much like made a little big lashing towards it, like, yeah, go back to your master and all that good shit. Which he's trying to say, go back to your being a little bitch again. Go back to your daddy, which is kind of sad. It is true because Moloch is kind of like their dad, and Hillary is like a bitch. Like, dude, go back to him. Okay.
Oh no. There was that one scene in the episode where Henry and Katrina.
But before all
Yeah,
that, Henry was a real dick. He's been a real dick to Abraham lately.
Yes, he has. I think he's always been a dick to Abraham.
Before all that, Abraham's like, well, the sunlight's about to come up. Well, then you better not waste no more time.
Bitch, get out there.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was awesome how he was treating, because that actually supports my speculation with Abraham actually renouncing his allegiance to Moloch and and fighting against him.
However, I got
Because he's getting sick of being treated like this, and he gets sick of being treated like this, and he fights. He actually says, like, enough, and he like throws the axe at Henry. Henry gets out of the way, and all hell breaks loose. And in the end, Abraham does get killed. That's my speculation. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna lose him, and I don't
Well,
see
we
him
can't.
going good.
We can't lose Abraham because he's the headless horseman, and Sleepy Hollow without the headless horseman, just wrong. It's like a violation to the story. You can't have one without the other.
We could always call up Johnny Depp and he'll come back.
Ha! Well, the thing is that Johnny Depp played Ichabod Crane, so we would have two Ichabods.
Yeah,
No, what we would
Chop his
need,
head off.
what we would need would be Christopher Walken, because Christopher Walken played the Headless Horseman in the Sleepy Hollow movie. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
rewatch
yeah,
that
we,
movie.
yeah, we could have Christopher Walken walk in, and it's without a head and everything, and then with that enchanted necklace, you see him saying like, "Hey, I'm the headless horseman," and it just that was a terrible Christopher Walken impression, but you get the idea. Yeah,
No, he'll come in with his little gangster swag, be like, "I'm the headless horseman. I'm gonna kill somebody."
yeah. I mean, you get in my way, I'm going to stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Yeah, but I think I have a good speculation now. Since they got the
For those who don't know, that line actually is a quote from the movie Joe Dirt at the end.
no one
It
remembers.
was.
Be quiet, Charles. No one remembers it.
Oh, come on. That wasn't a terrible movie. It was funny.
What was so funny about it?
Everything.
Exactly. Thank you. Now back to me, folks. Back to my speculation, which is going to be awesome. Anyways, folks, my last theory was like Moloch's going to be betrayed by Henry because I can see that happening. Well, now it's been a little bit somewhat confirmed because they found a weapon, and you know Henry senses everything, right? He's just like, oh no, my master might get killed by his weapon. No, he just said like, oh, they found a weapon. Good. Just going straight to my point.
It's like Montgomery Burns going like, excellent.
Right, because he knows Moloch, if that sword kills him, he's pretty much out of the picture, which is Moloch, that is. And Henry can pretty much take over, which would be super awesome.
Yeah.
But Malak could take away his powers.
Yeah, but if he's
He
killed,
He could, yeah.
but if
I mean,
he's killed,
all you're doing is killing his Earth presence. He's
Well-
still around. He'll still be around in the gates of hell.
Purgatory. He can't escape purgatory whatsoever. But the thing behind it
Yeah.
is, it's like the Freddy Krueger effect. He wasn't like purgatory is a dream world. You can't hurt him in the purgatory. But if you bring him into the real world, he still has the same powers, but he still can be hurt by a specific type of weapon or type of material.
The
So,
Sword of Methuselah.
exactly, which can kill anything. Anything.
Well, any earthly creature. It can kill
Exactly.
any earthly creature. So if you were in purgatory, the Sword of Methuselah would be useless. It would have no effect.
Right. But since
Yeah, but-
Mom must be so gangster, it's like, oh, I'm going to go to your place and I'm going to fuck it up. Okay, we're going to kill you. Boom.
Yeah. Yes.
But we forgot one thing. How did they end up
Which
getting
is?
that sword?
Ah, yes. That was really
Oh,
good.
yes.
They
That
had
was
to
very
stick-
interesting because,
They had to stick the flame into the oily water.
Yeah, I didn't see
well,
that.
it wasn't water. It wasn't water. It was full-blown oil. And
Oh, that's not full-blown oil. That was
well,
oily
they
water.
said it.
You can
Okay,
believe it.
all right, all right.
But that was oily water. Because if it was
Okay.
full-blown oil, the whole thing would have lit up instead of just that little ring.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just enough oil to give it fire.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. Let's see. Also, when Abby went in there and she actually grabbed the sword, I gotta say, that's the wrong sword because during that whole scene with all the swords there, one thing popped in my mind. One.
Which
The
was,
Holy Grail scene from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
Yeah, that
where
was
where the Nazi ended up looking at all the chalices and wanting to find the Holy Grail, and being the arrogant son of a bitch that he was, he grabbed the most jewel-encrusted, most valuable-looking chalice in there, and when he drank it, he died.
Well, that's
And it turned out that the Holy Grail in that movie, The Last Crusade, happened to be the wooden chalice, because if you remember, according to that, Christ was a carpenter, so it worked. So I was actually thinking that in this scene, it would have been the most basic-looking sword. It would have been the most basic-looking for that time. It wouldn't have been very elegant, or it wouldn't have looked valuable. It would have probably looked rusty. It would have looked old and worn down.
to your point, Charles, we asked a woman to find the sword.
She pulled the wrong sword. Wink, wink.
Oh, come on, that's not cool.
But it was true though. She pulled a snake.
Well, it turned out that the swords were. Yeah, exactly. They were all snakes. Which, by the way, yeah, I love snakes. I'm a
I hate
huge
snakes.
snake fan. Oh, I love them. Although if you put me in a room with spiders, however, I will scream like a girl, and I'm not even ashamed to say that.
Yeah, he'll be running away like, oh my god, He would.
Yeah, anything that has more than 4 limbs and 2 eyes freaks the living hell out of me.
He would have been running away to his pony.
Exactly.
Oh, that is also not cool.
He'd be right on his ponies.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to buy like I don't know, one of those pony like beanie caps just to spite all of you assholes.
No. He's gonna ride the pony. He's gonna ride the train tracks there. He's gonna be like, "Hey, train, pick me
Oh,
up."
fuck you!
I'm sorry, but that was so funny.
Yeah, but no, I don't know, just in this scene where they actually like put the 2 torches into the pit with the oily water, yeah, and they it lowers the level of the oily water, and they see the sword, and I gotta say the sword actually, that scene right
That
there
scene,
actually, it reminded me of King Arthur and the Sword and the Stone. That's what it reminded me of.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, are they trying to do something with King Arthur here?
I was thinking to myself, they pulled out Excalibur.
I know, bro.
Yeah, well. Thing is, it's not Excalibur; it's the Sword of Methuselah, which could be another name for Excalibur, because apparently, according to Arthurian legend, Excalibur is capable of killing almost anything. It's a very powerful sword.
Of course.
Yeah. So I don't know, just. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It's just it didn't seem like it fit with the show.
So my theory of it being oily water, when he stuck his torch in there, it just went dull, dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he needed her torch to light him back up and then sticking it together.
Yeah. It's like, could you have not tried that in the first place?
Oh God.
He was too blinded by rage that he wasn't thinking straight. Abraham was inside his head.
Yeah.
Even she get it together.
Yes, exactly. And all right. It looks like that we've pretty much covered everything about the episode except for one short scene where at the end where they actually grab the sword and Abraham is laughing at them saying, "Oh, there's no sword," and then he leaves. You hear that horn in the background.
Oh God,
yeah.
That was so epic.
Yeah, the horn that starts the end of days, apparently.
That horn went off, and that's when Ichabod told him, "Go serve your master, bitch."
Yeah, go back to your daddy, motherfucker.
But Abby had a weird reaction to that horn. It's like it was like really messing with her ears.
It also affected Ichabod as well. I think it's a bit
Abby, because Abby was in the background like she's about to cry.
Yeah, because that sound is it's not meant for mortals sound. Ichabod's used to it because he's been like in a whole situation, but Abby has not, and then she's pretty much used to. Well, she's not used to it, so that horn is very. I'm trying to say.
I know you guys have noticed this one recycled scene that they use every time at the police station. That goddamn police car taking off with the lights on.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time they show the police station, that damn car taking off with the light red.
That's so sad.
Yep. Okay. All right. And then after that, after Abraham leaves and they grab the sword and they get out of there, we then see him.
He told Ichabod that Katrina will be my wife, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is that when they go to Henry, and then it has the 2 horsemen, the war armor with the flaming sword, and then Abraham in the background, and then it backs up, and then you see Moloch right there standing in front of him in all his glory, going. He doesn't really say anything, but he has like the robes, has the horns and everything, and he's not human looking, so he's not the boy. He's not like the human looking child anymore. He's fully grown. He's fully matured. And,
he's not in an enchanted zone.
That's true. He's not in an enchanted zone. Okay, I gotcha.
Right.
But yeah, so I have a very strong feeling that next week's episode is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
My thing is. No. Does he have to walk through something to become Because it's like, why is he standing in front of those two pillars and shit like he's some kind of wannabe god?
Well, he's trying to be
Yeah.
a wannabe god. He's a powerful demon, but he's not like a godlike demon.
Yeah.
All we need now
Yeah.
is Gandalf to come out and say, "You shall not pass."
Oh, that'd be so awesome. Oh my god, I'll pay good money to see that. I'll pay real good money. Like, oh my god, it's Gandalf and Maul going at it. High five, everyone.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, it looks like that pretty much covers everything about the episode. Shall we kick it into speculation territory now?
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Well, no, we weren't officially into speculation territory, but does anybody have any other speculation to throw out there?
Well, besides going to be a one crazy ass mid-season final, I can pretty much see a lot of things shifting. Pretty much in the hero side, but also on the bad guy side. It's going to be like, it won't be a big winner. It's going to be like, everyone's going to be a loser, but there's going to be one small winner. Really, really one small winner.
Jenny from the
Mhm.
block.
Exactly.
Oh God! All right, I don't know, but Lou Rod, you got any other speculation to throw into the pot?
Somebody's gonna get killed.
Well, that's not really speculation. That's pretty much a given.
Are you sure
Not
about that?
necessarily true.
Are you sure?
Not necessarily true.
Well, I'll give you that because nobody really died in season one. Nobody really important died in season one.
Well,
Well, the sheriff died. He was important.
He was in the first episode though. He was and he showed up because his character was intended to sort of be sort of a flashback type character. He was only in the pilot.
John
He
Chu's
was only-
character was important. They should have
John
brought him back
Chu's-
for this season.
John Chu.
He was interesting.
Sure, Deputy Andy was in this season. He was only in one episode though, but he was in the premiere episode.
Besides Deputy Andy and what do you call the other guy? The one who could battle the Horsemen. It's like really we only got him for one episode.
The Kindred, yeah, the Kindred, yeah.
Okay, that's my speculation. The Kindred's gonna come out of retirement next week to kick some ass.
or next half of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. We need the Kindred back. I do know that, yes. And actually, now that Moloch is back, is now actually in our world now, I think the Kindred. Here's my speculation. I think the Kindred will show up next episode, and it will get its ass handed to it by Moloch.
Not if he has that awesome sword from Excalibur Land.
True, but technically, the sword of Methuselah was only really intended to be wielded by people, by humans. The Kindred isn't technically a human.
He's got a human head.
Well,
He has the head of a horseman, but it's just I
Which
think it's
was
very
human
likely.
at one point.
All right, I'll give you that, but I think it's more likely that the sword of Methuselah would actually react violently to that kind of stuff. Oh, well, you know what? Damn it, that pokes a hole in my logic. All right, because
Actually,
because
you want to know what's going to happen to the Kindred next week? His skull
What happens?
is going to turn into fire.
ooh.
And he's going to become
that
a form of Ghost Rider.
Ah.
You
That
took the
was
Ghost
awesome.
Rider route.
Ghost Rider. Boom. Oh god.
And we're going to find out Nicolas Cage is playing the Kendrick.
Oh god. That'll be
Oh,
funny.
please no. That Ghost Rider movie was a huge disappointment, which pisses me off because Ghost Rider is one of my favorite Marvel
Which
characters.
one? I actually enjoyed both of them, though.
Wow.
Spirit of Vengeance was only a tiny bit better, but
You
not
can't-
really.
You can't go and see comic book movies are not intended for you to go into them
Right or
with
not, but it was just
full
bad.
expectations. You just got to give credit where
The
credit is due.
My main issue with Spirit of Vengeance is that the only continuity between the two movies was Nicolas Cage. That's it. It was like in Spirit of Vengeance, what they did is pretty much just change the entire origin story. Is what they did. They didn't take any flashbacks from the first movie into the second movie, which I hated.
Yeah, that.
But,
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, but no.
Mm.
But okay, all right. Before we go any further off track, it looks like that our speculation is out of there. So guess what that means, folks? It is the end of the Geeks of the Round Hangout discussion of Season 2 of Sleepy Hollow, episode... Yeah, and, just...
You know what? Before we just end it, this could have been a good mid-season finale.
It could have been, yes.
They left you, like, giving me, I want more.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully
it would have been a perfect way to end it, yeah.
Going next week. Because if they don't, it's going to be real disappointing.
I don't think it's going to be because they're really...
Yes.
The show could be good, but they need to leave us with, I want more coming back from this winter break. That's what you need from your winter finale to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, and so with that, I say, well, actually, before I say goodbye, let's do one more thing. Isaiah, pimp your stuff.
I know, right? And it's not my junk. Anyways, folks, yes, I have a show called The Isaiah Zone. Yes, it's about my knowledge, my opinion, and yes, you're going to love it if I insult you. And also, do check out The Zone, which is a community for all you people who wants to join my knowledge. Remember, you rule the zone, and all my material is only like a sister cousin to Geeks It Around. And Charles, back to you.
Yes, and on that note, I'd like to thank every single one of you out in the internet world still watching our discussion for Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 10, whatever the name is. This has been Geeks All Around, and be sure to check out our other Geeks All Around discussions where we discuss Arrow, Flash, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Walking Dead, and a bunch of other shows. So, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.